Hi readers, it is session 6 of the fantasy unit. So I'm doing this outside because it's too dark where I usually do my teaching. So we're doing it outside today. And today our topic is characters are complex. So if you remember, yesterday we talked about how plot in a story is a vehicle for teaching about theme or teaching life lessons. So today we're going to talk about how characters are complex and how they have flaws and they have strength. So I want to start by thinking about some things and some characters we may already know from some fantasy movies. So if you think about Harry Potter and Rey from Star Wars, so they were inherently good, and then there was Kylo Ren and Voldemort, and we thought of them as like the villain or that they were bad. But if you thought about them throughout the movie, these characters weren't all perfect. They had flaws too, and these characters were all bad. They also had strength. So what we know is that characters are complex, okay? They're complex, and if we take a look at our anchor chart, characters are complex. They're not just one way, okay? They have strengths and they have flaws. And one way we can see this in our thing is to notice how a character is in one situation, okay? And then compare it to a time the character acts differently, because they don't all act the same. And there are some questions we can ask, okay? So before I go over those, okay, I'm going to use this to delve into our book, Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief. So I'm going to give you an example about how to do this, answering the questions, okay? So let's think about it. Some of the questions that I'm going to think about, now I might not do all of them, but some might help guide my thinking. This is one way to explore it, okay? Is what do I notice when I think about my character across the book? So from the beginning to the end of the book, okay? Another question I could ask myself is, what are some of their strengths and their flaws? I could also ask myself, why do I think they do some of the things that they do? So in The Lightning Thief, I kind of think of like Poseidon, and he first comes off to me, the character of Poseidon is really rude, okay? And just cruel. He left Percy and his mom. So you notice, and I'm answering the question here, I'm thinking about what do I notice when I think about the character across the whole book, okay? So in my reader's notebook, how I did this is I wrote that question, okay, and then I jotted my thinking. I jotted, at first, Poseidon seems cruel and rude. He left Percy and his mom. And I wrote down in the book where Percy said he felt angry with his father for leaving them for an ocean voyage, okay? So that's my evidence from the book, okay? And I noticed, though, because across the whole book, as I read on in the book and find out more about him, I found out he rules a big kingdom and worries about justice and problems in the kingdom. And he shows Percy that he loves him. So he's not just one way. He's not just good. He's not just evil. He, just like you and me and all people, he has strengths and he has flaws. And then I answered the question in my notebook, why do I think they do some of the things they do? Why does the character do some of the things they do? And I wrote, I think Poseidon rules over a big kingdom, and maybe he feels overwhelmed by this, so that guides some of his choices for his actions, okay? So what I want you to do today is when you are reading, okay, your fantasy story, I want you to think about and find a way to think about the character across the whole book, okay? And notice how they act different and jot some notes. You can do it. One way to do it is like how I did here, okay? And answering the questions if you have another way, but jot some notes that shows how the character is complex, how they act across the book, how they are at the beginning, and then how they might change throughout the book. Okay, I hope you enjoy your reading. And for the assignments, after you jot those notes in your reading notebook about your character, please take a picture and submit it to this assignment. Okay, have a great day.